welcome back to Allin Presents. I'm Leanne, and that's Allin. And we are here with our reactions to the recent AEW pay-per-view Double or Nothing.
Pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view. We're allowed to say it, and that's what it's called. Yay! Yeah, I mean, it was very long, but it was pretty good. Ups and downs.
Yeah, the NBA playoffs didn't help with that, so they had to try to make sure people didn't miss the Hangman Paige versus CM Punk match.
Yes, they sort of dragged it out so that people could tune back in, sort of thing. Rude. Anyway, let's get straight into it, because there's a lot to cover, and we don't want to be keeping you guys too long.
Yep.
So, we started off, we watched bits of the pre-show.
Yep.
We had the Acclaimed and Ass Boys.
The Gun Club.
The Gun Club. Yeah. Came out and they just came out to do a bit of a comedy thing.
They did the whole rap shtick thing.
Yeah, they did a rap, which included, the Acclaimed and the Ass Boys have arrived, which has the Gun Club looking upset.
What else do they do, Leanne?
They do I don't like it. It's weird. Apparently that's their thing. There you go. And they did the joke again where the Gun Club boys take the mic and try and do the AEW we have arrived bit, but saying the wrong pay-per-view name. Yeah.
I think it was Full Gear and Revolution. Oh, I think it was Full Gear and All In.
Yeah.
I think it was the two they used at this time.
It was fun. It was funny, and those raps would always make me laugh. So.
No, anyway, yeah. When they started, it was a bit. Oh god.
But I don't know if it's because we've gotten used to it or they've gotten into their stride, but they're fun.
I'd like to think the latter.
Yeah.
They certainly seem to be hitting the stride a bit better with it.
Yeah, they always know what to say to make people laugh. Mm-hmm. So the other bit of the pre-show that we watched, obviously, was Hookhausen versus Tony Nese and Mark Sterling. Mm-hmm. It's fun. Sterling's gear when he came out, it's like this really shiny one-piece kind of thing, and he's I don't know, he's really enjoying himself, isn't he? It's quite fun to watch.
There was something on the back I couldn't quite make out. It looked like there was writing on the back. I couldn't make out what it was.
It's too shiny. But there we go. And it was a very entertaining match. Mm-hmm. Short but sweet. Mm-hmm. Got the crowd excited, which
the crowd
is what you want.
was super into it.
I'm loving it. But, I mean, it's Hook and Danhausen. So you've got two different sides of the crowd both loving this one team. So you can't go wrong.
I'll give someone Mark Sterling credit where it's due, though. He did pull off a good suplex.
Yeah, he did.
To be fair to him.
It's probably the move.
It's probably the only offensive move he got in, but
he had to get one move right, so he practiced that one a lot, and then he got it. We had Hook managed to take down Sterling easily, pretty much, but Danhausen is on the corner, asking for the tag, and surprisingly, Hook goes and gives him the tag. Yeah. And then Danhausen comes in, 1 foot on Sterling, gets the pin and wins. Mm-hmm. It's nice. It's just something a bit silly, a bit sweet, get started, get the crowd happy, and into the main show. Anything else you want to say about the pre-show before we move on?
Nope.
We are whizzing through. That's a whole match done already. Did we do predictions for that one?
Yes, we did, and we got that one right.
Obviously. Okay. The opening match of the main show was a bit of a controversial one, I suppose. Yeah,
this caught me a bit off guard, but yeah.
This was the MJF versus Wardlow match. There was this whole thing where there was speculation that MJF might not turn up. He'd booked a flight out of the state.
Didn't show up for a signing, a meet and greet session on Saturday at FanFest. We
were a bit is this even going to happen? Have they got backup plans? He did turn up.
Work? Is it not a work? And it's
hard to tell with MJF. I think his actual personality and his character maybe are more similar than with a lot of wrestlers. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I mean, if it's a work, it's a great work, but I have a feeling it's not. From other things that we've heard, I suppose. So the stipulation here is if MJF wins, Wardlow can never sign with AEW. If Wardlow wins, he's released from the contract with MJF and he's a free agent and can sign with AEW if he chooses to.
Yeah.
So that was that. Wardlow's entrance from a holding cell in the arena. I think that was a nice touch in an actual holding cell.
Yeah.
2 pairs of handcuffs because he broke through one before.
Like a thick, sturdy chain on them as well, not like the normal sort of...
You're not breaking out of those. Still no music, so no war pigs,
No
like I'm
Black Sabbath,
thinking, but maybe it'll happen. Who knows?
Now he's signed with AEW.
Yeah, spoilers. Should have said, if you haven't seen the event, watch that first, because this is like all spoilers.
I mean, to be fair, was there any doubt that Wardlow was winning this? Especially after MJF decided to do this on Saturday with the meet and greet and stuff.
Yeah.
If MJF was booked to go over Wardlow at this point, Tony Khan would have been like,
Nope.
nah, mate,
You're
I
out.
don't think so.
Yeah. This was a very short match. MJF didn't really do a lot.
Except run away.
Except run away.
Oh, he did do like an eye poke.
He did an eye poke. He got the ring out, but like in full view of Wardlow and the ref. So the ref was like...
I love the way the ref was, and Wardlow was just stood there, and the ref was just kind of like...
It was a nice touch. No, thank you.
I wonder if the ref gave the ring back. Or if he's trying to pawn it somewhere.
It depends on the capacity of MJF.
Referee's got
AEW.
kids to feed, you know?
It's not much pay in a ref gig. So we had Wardlow powerbombing MJF a lot.
Well, he tried to powerbomb him a few times and he kept slipping out and eye rates and so forth. And
there's some stuff.
then he managed to hit him with one.
Mm-hmm. And then another.
And then another.
And then another.
And how many did he get, Julian?
Well, he got 5 in the first lot.
Right, okay.
And then he did the Danhausen, 1 foot on him, to get the pin, but steps off at 2. So it was like, this isn't over. And then he gets that tally up to 10. 10 power bombs, and then 1 foot on, pins for the win.
What's a symphony's? Is there anything that's bigger than a symphony?
I don't know, because this is like a whole orchestra, isn't it? It's a symphony. I don't know. It's a lot. It's
I think it kind of transcends a symphony at that point.
Yeah. many power bombs. It was fun. It was fun to watch MJF getting put in his place.
Beat down.
Yeah, especially after everything.
And I can imagine, like, if MJF tried going off the rails, that Wardlow would have just been like,
yeah, receipt.
nah, mate.
Put him in his place. He's not going to do this to us. There was the crowd was as expected on Wardlow's side, apart from a few like stray people.
There's a couple.
But I think accentuated by the not turning up to the fan fest and things. So there were chants of he showed up.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It felt a bit like MJF wasn't really. He didn't want to be there at all, either in character or out of character.
And there was speculation that he showed up literally sort of like a few minutes before the event.
Yeah, and then left.
And then left straight after his match, so...
Oh, well, we might not see him for a while, and I guess we'll see what happens.
Maybe that'll be a good thing for him.
Yeah, just get a bit of space and maybe come back fresh sometime.
I mean, that's what Austin did back in the day.
Yeah.
When he walked out.
Just got to cool off for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Put things in perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So, after the match, Wardlow, quite emotional, I think.
Yeah, I loved it.
Gets to the top of the ramp and Tony Schiavone comes out and announces that Wardlow is All Elite.
Yeah, so graphic on the screen.
Officially signed with AEW.
Do you know who else is All Elite?
Rags is All Elite. He is all fluff. Alright, then, next match.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, did we get that right? Obviously we
Yeah.
got that right. Why do I even ask?
Yeah.
Of course we got that one right. Next match was Young Bucks versus the Hardys.
Again, surprised this was quite early on
It was.
in the event.
I mean, this was a very sought after match.
Yeah.
2 iconic tag teams.
They've met a few times before in Ring of Honor and some of the other independent scenes, but first time in AEW.
Yeah, so it's like a whole new branch of fans are getting to see it, which is awesome. The Young Bucks, there was this sort of video package, sort of, with the Young Bucks sort of in Las Vegas, and it was like a song.
It was one of the Elvis songs, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Viva Las Vegas, but the words were changed so it was Super Kick Party.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just so.
It fits.
Just so. That's what he should have recorded it as.
So yeah, that was fun.
Elvis clearly had no style in writing his lyrics. Viva Las Vegas.
He didn't even know what a super kick party was back in those days. Young Bucks come out in Elvis-inspired gear.
Yeah.
Apparently they have had Elvis-inspired gear before, probably the last Las Vegas.
Maybe.
I'm sure the announcer said something. Don't take my word for it. Watch it and listen to them. They know more about stuff. It was a great match.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed it. It showcased the best of both tag teams.
There was Jeff Hardy had boot trubs.
He did. His boot sort of came undone, which made it quite difficult for him to then like climb onto the ropes to do swanton bombs and stuff. And a couple of awkward moments.
I mean, who's to say that he didn't take a bump and he was suffering from something? But I mean, he powered through.
There were moments where he did seem to be
a bit out of it. Yeah.
Whether that was selling or something actually
I don't know.
happened.
Selling and looking out of it are two different kind of things.
There were Brandon Cutler chants, which was fun. And I think it was Nick Jackson just slapped Brandon Cutler full on the face as if it's his fault. There was a swanton bomb on the steel steps,
rough.
Turned upright.
Yeah.
That did look really painful.
That was rough.
And in the end, John? Who's John?
Who's John?
You know, the third brother, John Hardy. Jeff hits a swanton bomb on one of the Young Bucks. I don't know which one it was.
I can't remember.
I have no idea.
Probably...
I have trouble telling them apart.
Well,
Fake wrestling
Matt's
fan.
the oldest one.
Can't tell.
Matt's the one with the black hair. Nick's the one with the sort of like,
it's like
goldy brown,
dark brown hair that in some lights looks black. Yeah, gotcha. But anyway, Jeff gets the pin and Young Bucks lose to the Hardys. It's good though.
Mm-hmm. You had that one wrong. I had that one right.
Here's me going for your favourites again.
And seeing as Jeff Hardy's one of your favourites.
I know, I just had a feeling. But I was wrong. And I'm glad I was wrong.
But now imagine Hardy's going for the tag titles. Could happen.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know what the rankings are going to be, and we'll find out on Wednesday before Dynamite, but they might jump into that top 5 if they're not already in the top 5. I'm not entirely sure what the rankings are off the top of my head right now.
Yeah, so. we need a good Hardy's tag team run for the championship, even if they don't get it.
Obviously, it depends on Jeff's health. If he's obviously taking a concussion, if he's taking a bump, then they're going to obviously appropriately handle the situation.
I'm sure we shall find out.
Yeah.
Okay, then we had some more fun with the Acclaimed and the Gun Club. We had a nice video package of them. They were going to go around Las Vegas and take a video, film everything, and show it to their dad at the end of the day.
Well, no, come on, let's use it properly. Show it to Daddy.
Show it to Daddy. But so they say this, and then the next thing we have is I forgot Billy Gunn. How could I forget Daddy Gunn? Billy Gunn.
Oh, jeez.
Coming into the hotel room, and you've got the Acclaimed and the Ass Boys. Just conked out all over the hotel room. He like points at his sons like, "You're a disgrace," and then goes over to the Acclaimed guys and is like tucking them in. Just like...
Don't forget Anthony Bowens is sort of in his wheelchair because he's injured. And he's just like,
so he does the
scissor.
Because they're like the sons he never had, I suppose. That was fun. I'm finding it a bit weird, the Gun Club being a comedy thing.
Yeah.
But they seem to be enjoying themselves, so good on them. We just, it'd be good to see them in some more matches.
I think we don't really watch Dark at the moment, or Dark Elevation, because there's a lot of it and we haven't got time at the moment.
Yes.
So I think they do have a lot of matches on there, so.
Bring them up to Dynamite.
They did fight on Rampage a couple of weeks ago, I'm sure of that.
I'm pretty sure they did. More. I guess they wanted something in the pay-per-view. All right, moving swiftly onwards. We are whizzing through good stuff. The TBS Championship, the Women's Championship. Anna Jay versus Jade Cargill. This match was a bit weird. The pacing was a bit off. Yeah. And the ending.
Like, we spoke about Jeff Hardy being off, but Jade was just making a lot of mistakes and messing up.
She just seemed to be not all there right from the start, so it's not like she sort of injured herself in the ring, it felt like it was right from the start. There was something not quite right.
She screwed up a fall-away slam, and then the next move she does was a fall-away slam. You're blatantly drawing attention to the fact that you just screwed up that move.
Yeah.
And then a couple of minutes later, she screws up a kip-up. And then she does a kip-up. And it's like, well...
It's having that, I guess, experience to know that if a move goes wrong, move on, change it up, do something different.
Come back to it later if you have to, yeah.
Then it's obvious that it didn't go right, and this is what it was meant to be.
And then there was something where she went to the outside, and Anna Jay was in the opposite, not diagonal, but horizontal corner, I guess you call it.
Down the line.
Direct corner. And she was just stood there as if she was waiting for something, and then it must have been like 20 seconds, and then she just kind of went and got back in the ring, and it's like, well, what was that?
Yeah.
What was that?
It wasn't quite right. Do you think she was distracted by the showgirls that were there for her entrance?
Maybe. Or maybe she was distracted by Anna Jay's butt.
It's a good butt.
Or the big tear that Anna Jay had in her tights.
Oh, it happened so easily. So partway through the match, you get Smart Mark Sterling coming out after his match. Obviously injured.
Oh, you had the other two first, Kiera Hogan and Red Velvet first, yeah. I'm not going to say that because that's a ridiculous name. No,
yeah, it's terrible. Sterling comes out with a neck brace and a crutch because he's clearly in a bad way after his match, and distracts the ref and slides the crutch into the ring, although he slides it closer to Anna Jay than to Jade Cargill. Just like, good job making that look real.
Smart Mark Sterling, right?
So Anna Jay gets some moves on Jade with it. And then someone who I'm not familiar with, his name is Stokely Hathaway, known in WWE and NXT. He was known by his ring name.
It was just NXT.
Malcolm Bivens.
Yeah, Malcolm Bivens. He was part of the Diamond Mine.
Yeah, he's like a manager from what I read. So he comes down.
So what did you say his name was in this now?
Stokely Hathaway.
Stokely Hathaway. Because I went, who's that? And I kind of recognised the face, and Malcolm Bivens popped in my head. And I thought, I can't be that. You know, I don't watch NXT anymore since the rainbow puking reboot.
So great. Yeah, the announcers are just going, Stokely, and we're like, who?
Who the hell is that? Yeah.
I don't know this person. But he distracts Anna Jay and Jade Cargill and gets the pin. And
I forgot Christian Leder.
Oh, she comes down. She comes down after the finish.
Oh, because they're all beating her up in there. Beat her up, NJ, I think, yeah.
Yes. That ending was so quick after the Stokely guy comes out. It was just all over. It's like...
Well, she hit like, was it Avalanche Jaded off the top?
Yeah.
Well, of an avalanche a little bit, but yeah.
It's like one move and done.
It's like, what? Okay, I get that it was from the top rope, but that was a bit...
Yeah, after Anna Jay sort of being dominant for a lot of it, it was like completely flipped. But there we go. Yeah, so after it finishes, I think, you have Chris Statlander coming out to defend Anna Jay.
Yeah, because she jumps in the ring and she starts staring down Velvet, Red Velvet.
That's right. And then obviously
3 on 2.
You got 3 on 2. So then some music we don't recognise starts playing. You see on the screen Fallen Goddess. And then out comes the person that we recognise as Ember Moon, who is now Athena, and she looks awesome, and she's just like, I don't know, I'm really looking forward to seeing what she's going to do. She's just like got so much power just in her entrance, and coming out to the ring and showing that she's there means business.
And it kind of looked like they paired off as well, where Statlander was paired off with Red Velvet. You had Anna Jay paired off with Kiera Hogan, and straight off the bat, Athena's going straight for Jade Cargill. Yes. Which is great, because you've got Jade Cargill who's like up here somewhere, and then Athena's like down here somewhere.
Yeah.
But you just know that Athena's going to just woman handle Jade all over the place.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think we've needed some new blood in the women's division, someone who can match the power level that they are saying that Jade Cargill has.
Someone doesn't need to be 6 foot tall.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Chris Statlander's quite tall. But I don't know if she could necessarily match the power. She's powerful, but can she match the power of Jade Cargill? Probably not. Whereas Athena's got all power, and she's a total badass.
Yes. I think it's quite tricky when you've got all these women are established, they have characters, and they have sort of their place in the rankings. Even though people move up and down, they're sort of in the same area. So bringing someone new in can upset the whole apple cart and get some fresh matches going and some fresh title challenges. And
she's always got to bring food into the conversation.
Hungry. Yeah, I think this could be a really big step for the women's division, and hopefully see some improvement, like we talked about in the predictions. Could do with some refreshing.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop. All right, good stuff. Next, we have a trios match between Death Triangle and the House of Black. This one was good.
It was so freaking good.
This match was really good.
Like, if you put a pile of gasoline in the ring and lit it on fire, that match was more fire than the actual fire.
It was fast-paced, non-stop.
Yeah.
And you sort of couldn't call it either way. It was sort of so much back and forth, and with all the guys in the two teams, that there wasn't at any point, I don't think, one person who was really dominant for very long. Obviously, you've got someone's kicking everyone's butts, but then someone else will come in and kick their butt, sort of thing.
Yeah, it's constant swapping in and out.
Death Triangle, when they came out, I think it was Penta's kid they had with them.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
I just see this little tiny kid in a full luchador outfit, and it's so cute, but there was no one
there was
said
no mention
anything.
of it. Yeah, it was like, huh?
We're guessing it's Penta's kid because he picked the kid up and kissed them on the head.
And he was dressed in
I think it was
Penta's
a
gear.
But I'm not sure. You can't really tell in a lucha outfit.
Do you think we're going to see Penta's kid fight -1 at some point?
Oh, imagine. But then the kid goes back into the back room.
Yeah,
so
Alex
just
Abrahantes kind of runs him back through the tunnel.
Yeah, just a little...
Or them back through the tunnel.
A little sort of fun day out for the child, which is nice. House of Black's entrance was, as always, intimidating.
God,
the masks just seem to be getting better and better. And this time they're all three of them under their masks in face paint.
Yeah.
And sort of different to normal. Because it's not just the one black.
Well, it's usually only
side.
Malachi that has the face paint.
But it was half the face black on the top and white on the bottom with lines and stuff. It just looked really cool. Bum, bum, bum. Okay. Yes, great match. Head straight to the sort of ending where, what was his name? The guy who took the kid out to the back.
Alex Abrahantes.
Alex Abrahantes. Sorry. He was on the apron distracting the ref to allow Pac to land a low blow on Malachi Black.
He booted for those uprights.
Yes, that looked real painful. So Malachi Black is down and Pac is getting ready to sort of
down.
end
He's probably singing soprano right now.
Yeah, it looked like genuine
He's singing
pain.
his death metal as a Bee Gees singer.
Definitely. But then the lights go down.
He's about to hit the black arrow.
Lights down, and we're like, what is happening right
who's
now?
going to show up now? Who's going to show up next?
Lights come up, and it's Julia Hart.
Yes!
Julia Hart.
They did it!
Who is facing Pac in the corner and just sprays black mist right in his face. And then quickly rolls out the ring and out she goes. They pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
So she's dressed all in black. So she's still obviously blonde hair and pigtail, cheerleader pigtails pretty much. I think it's a good look.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Malachi then hits the black mass on Pac and pins him to win. And then they walk out with Julia Hart.
Yeah.
As a nice team, a team of 4 now.
Kings of the Black Throne remain on top.
Plus Queen.
Yeah. The House of Black retain. The House of Black.
Yes, House of Black.
Was it?
Wins.
You're in Vegas. The house always wins.
Very true. I think we predicted that one right. I've been
Yes.
skipping right over the predictions.
That's
You
fine.
keeping an eye on them?
Yeah. So far, we had Jade Cargill to win, and we had House of Black to win.
Nice.
Although it did look very touch and go at the end
It
there. I started to get a
did.
bit twitchy, I'm not going to lie.
It was edge of your seat towards the end.
Yeah.
There. It's good. That's what we like. We want it to be unpredictable. Anything can happen. Okay, we move on now to the Owen Hart Foundation Tournament of Champions Finals. So we start with the men's. They do them back to back because they're going to give the cup after the two of them.
Mm-hmm. The trophies and whatnot.
Yes. So we've got Adam Cole versus Samoa Joe. Baby. I didn't write much. It was just a nice atmosphere for these matches. You had Owen chants in the crowd through, like, going all the way through almost, like, ups and downs. It was a good match.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's going to be with these two. Yeah, how can it not be?
Yeah, anyone who puts Samoa Joe and Adam Cole in the ring and books it and produces it and makes it a dud match, they should not be in the wrestling business.
Yeah. Adam Cole was in pink for the Hart family, which was nice. I didn't write much because I was so invested in this match, I think.
Good back and forth.
Yes, it was. Bobby Fish does interfere.
Yeah, so there was a point where... But he didn't really interfere because Joe just kind of stopped him in his tracks.
Yeah, he like came up and stood on the apron. Samoa Joe was like, nope, down you go. Down. Yeah, we have Adam Cole wins.
Yes.
Lowers the boom, gets the pin.
Yep.
And is the first winner of the Owen Hart Foundation Tournament of Champions.
Men's tournament.
For the men's.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's the first winner of either of them.
Well... Yeah, but you know...
This one happened first.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had that one right as well.
Yay! Do you have anything else to say on that? I feel like I
it was just a great match as expected though. Yes. So you got Joe and Cole in a match, it's solid gold, you know.
Can't go wrong. And then we go on to the next Owen tournament match. They started shortening to the Owen after a while when the tournament was going. Yeah. So I think we can do that too. It's Dr. Britt Baker, D.M.D, versus Ruby Soho. We had Britt Baker coming down to the ring, played in by Rich Ward from Fozzy.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, he followed it all the way down. He's so enthusiastic.
And then it's like, because you're like, oh, they followed down to the ring. And I think I said tonight, well, hang on, are they setting something up for Ruby as well?
So then you get to Ruby's entrance, and it's the band Rancid, who made her entrance music.
Yeah.
And they're playing it, and it's real good. I feel like it sounded better live.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
It's good. I liked it. And we got the full song as well, which is you don't often get with entrances.
Yeah, they kind of shorten them.
Yes. So that was good.
Unless it's like WWE WrestleMania where you got that 60-foot, probably 600-foot stage ramp at that point.
Yeah, you got enough time then.
Yeah.
I found it funny.
You could probably walk from the top of the stage to the bottom of that ramp to Slipknot's Iowa, which is 15 minutes long.
Probably. I found it quite funny that Ruby Soho got a band and Britt Baker just got one guitarist. But you know. This was another good match. I think that compared to the last women's match we had, it was amazing.
This was so much better.
It was so much better.
It was again a lot of back and forth, a lot of good stuff. One thing I did really enjoy was that there wasn't really any shenanigans on both parts. Really, when you think about it, Bobby Fish running in, he didn't do anything.
No.
Britt Baker did not cheat at all.
No, she didn't. And she usually does.
Yeah.
But she didn't have her usual entourage.
No, they come out at the beginning and they went back to the back. So.
Yeah. So it was nice that it felt a bit like out of respect for what the tournament's about and Owen Hart, maybe. I don't know if that was the thing, but
maybe.
It could have been.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like.
It was good. Good stuff. Britt Baker got the win after reversing a victory roll, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's one of those quick endings that feels satisfying rather than one of the quick endings that feels like
dud. Yeah.
So they did it really well, and I very much enjoyed it. And then after winning, Britt Baker offered her hand to help Ruby get up.
Yeah, which was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, unusual. I mean, as soon as Ruby got up, she sort of let go, and Britt Baker
But it's still that sign of respect,
away.
So
it's sort of in the right direction. That was really nice. So that means we've got the power couple of Adam Cole and Britt Baker both winning the Owens.
So who predicted that to happen?
You.
Who didn't predict that to happen?
Me.
Who did you predict to win this match?
the other person, Ruby Soho? It's a silly question. Oh, you didn't think Britt would win? Who did you think would win then?
Just putting it in black and white for our viewers at home.
Just rubbing it in that I'm wrong. Sad times. So, Martha Hart, who was the wife of Owen Hart, then comes out in a wonderful outfit with a lovely sort of fascinator hat to present the championships. She gave a very touching speech.
Well, when she could get a word in edgeways with the crowd.
There was a lot of thank you, Martha, and Owen chants, and she was quite overwhelmed with it, but after a couple of times of stopping to soak it in, she did power through and managed to get through the speech. And she did dictate that next year, when there's an Owen championship, she wants everyone to be wearing fancy fascinator hats. So that was nice.
I want to see everyone in next year's Double or Nothing just wearing those hats.
Yeah, that'd be so good. So there was...
It'll be like that, what's that racing tournament thing?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm on about.
Can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, with like Ladies' Day and
yeah.
stuff. I know.
Yeah.
I know the one. You know. They know. So for each of the winners, they had a custom championship belt, sort of
which is
just
just there to keep and display proudly.
Yeah, they looked really nice. They were
square.
They were square,
which is different. I don't think I've seen many square titles.
No,
that's not knocking the title. It's just it's different.
To be different.
Yeah, it's
and
different.
It had the year and Owen Hart Championship and stuff.
I think Cole's was purple and hers Britt's was pink.
Yes,
more of a pink kind of colour.
Yeah, that's right. They also had T-shirts on, Britt and Adam had T-shirts, and his said King of Hearts and hers said Queen of Hearts on
Oh,
the top.
I missed that. Okay.
I think hers was hidden by her hair, so it didn't
yeah.
help. And there's also a very big cup, the Owen Cup, huge thing, which will have their names then engraved on it and be added to each year when they do it.
Leanne, what's bigger, the Owen Hart Cup or the Under the Giant Battle Memorial? Battle
close.
Royal Memorial. Not anymore.
No, because it's been smashed up. Oh dear. Oh, WWE.
Anyway.
All right. So that was the Owen.
Back to the good stuff.
Good stuff. Next, we have American Top Team, made up of Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page, and Paige VanZant. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Yes. Versus Sammy Guevara, Tay Conti, and Frankie
Ty
Kazarian. Ty Conti. I'm having trouble today, guys.
It's a Brazilian name, so it's
Ty Conti. It's short as well for something, isn't it? I think.
Tanara.
So, stipulation for this, or I guess, is it stipulation?
Yeah, technically.
The thing that would happen if Top Team win, Sammy and Frank autocorrect has turned it to Frankly.
Frankly Kazarian.
Sammy and Frankie aren't allowed to challenge again for the
TNT title.
I did write it, but again, autocorrect, so it now says the championship.
That's only as long as Scorpio Sky holds it, though. So if he loses it next week, they can challenge again. But yeah,
is that going to happen though? I don't think so.
I doubt it.
So, Tay Conti's dressed as Maleficent.
Yeah, that was weird.
It's a proper a big headdress with the horns.
Yeah.
And Sammy's got like a cape with raven feathers. Did you ever watch that show? Was it just called The Raven? It's like one of these game shows for kids on CBBC
or something. I think I heard of it.
And he'd have the raven he'd beat a raven and come down and he's just a man in this cape thing. It's so good, love that show, but that's what that reminded me of.
You look more like Count Chocula from the cereal thing.
I'll have to find a picture of the raven guy and you'll see what I'm on about. Yes, this was a very entertaining match.
Yeah.
And a satisfying ending. Basically the whole match is Frankie carrying the team because Sammy is strutting about and
like
making out with Tay Conti instead of actually taking the thing seriously. We had a good showing from Paige VanZant in her first outing. Yeah,
to be fair, she did pretty well.
She did. I mean, they even said on commentary that they're expecting her to be green, I think.
Yeah,
I don't think there was any of that. She seemed to take to it really well. And obviously the MMA stuff shows through what she
the MMA
do.
stuff's not a massive, it's not miles away from what professional wrestling is. It's just more I guess a bit restricted would be there because you're not making full contact.
Yes. But yeah, it showed she seemed to really know what she was doing. So I'm quite excited to see her do more. Beef up that women's division. It's good stuff. Yes, so after Sammy and Conti are just like making out in the middle of the ring because Sammy's very proud of Conti and she did a good job, so they're gonna have a kiss.
So yeah, they're making out in the middle of the ring, and I'm glad this is a pay-per-view because this kind of thing you usually have to pay to see. Okay,
yeah, it was this.
It was a bit.
There's so much tongue.
Too much.
Like visible. We don't want to see that.
Like the last time I saw that much tongue was when I had a dog and it was licking my hand.
Yeah, it's grim. And apparently Frankie Kazarian thought it was grim as well because he was trying to break them up and stop them.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at the stipulation of the match, and Sammy Guevara is just like, let's go neck my girlfriend instead of having a career.
Yeah, so Frankie sort of breaks them up, and Sammy goes to super kick him. He moves, and
was it? No, I think it was Ethan Page, wasn't it? He was trying to super kick. He was trying to kick.
I'm sure it was Frankie.
You might be right. You might be right.
That's what I wrote down. If I'm wrong,
no, you might be right. You might be right.
It might have been autocorrect.
Part of that kind of blew in together because I kind of just blanked out that whole.
Yeah.
The sub pay-per-view thing.
So Frankie or whoever it was moves out the way, and Conti takes the whole of that kick.
She ate that foot so hard.
Whew,
it looked like they actually made contact with her face. It was like.
Yeah, so she sort of rolls
Whoops. Out. Do you think he's going to kiss it better?
Frankie then throws Sammy out of the ring to get him out of the way, turns around, and the whole of American Top Team are just waiting for him. And yeah, he got no chance.
Yeah. No.
He has no help left.
No.
And he's already in a bad way because he's been so frustrated. So yeah, he gets pinned, and American Top Team win. Which I'm surprised that I was hoping for, but I'm glad that it happened.
Yeah, we had that one right as well. So
good stuff. And moving on. Next, we've got Kyle O'Reilly versus Darby Allin.
One of those matches that came out of nowhere.
Yes. It was really good, though. I think it's quite easy to forget how good Kyle O'Reilly really is.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I put down. Because you always see him in tag team wrestling, and you see him in trios matches and 10-man tags and whatnot. You don't see him much on his own.
No, but he can go.
And when you put him in the ring with someone like Darby Allin, like, woof, okay, cool, great.
He shone. And
he really did.
Darby Allin is great.
He took some nasty bumps in this.
Yeah. God. There was blood right from the start.
That knee. It was the knee.
Yeah, a knee to Darby Allin's face that maybe connected a bit more than expected, and just blood from the mouth.
Like I think as soon as we saw, we were like, "Oh, that looks stiff."
And then you saw blood.
I think there's a point where Darby like kind of went, I just went. He's like, "Oh."
He's doing a Gene Simmons.
And then you said, "Better get your gloves on, ref." And next shot you see is the ref going.
Not again. There was some.
Do you think he's like, I didn't sign off the anarchy match because I didn't want to deal with blood. Now I have to deal with this.
Probably. There were a couple of moves that didn't seem to quite go right. I don't know what happened, but there was Darby tried to do a dive onto Kyle O'Reilly outside the ring. Something happened, and instead of going forward, he sort of went down. That looked rough.
That did look rough.
But he got up. He was okay. The ref checked.
And then he did it again on the other side, and he actually connected. It was like, oh, but no, Kyle caught him. Yeah. Stuck him in a choke or something.
That's right. But it went better.
Yeah.
I'd rather be caught by a person than hit my head on.
But again, that's like Darby didn't do it straight off the bat. There was a couple of bits in between, unlike what Jade did with the fall away slam.
It's not like he was like, oh, that didn't go right. Climb back in the ring and try again.
Yeah, exactly. Because that would have just been what? What are you doing?
There was one part where Kyle O'Reilly hoisted Darby up by the chain around his neck, and it just snapped. That looked rough.
Now,
it's a horrible thing to happen to start with, and then if it snaps, it's gonna completely jar you. I mean, obviously your throat's released, but then you don't know if there's sharp stuff then digging in.
So, And this is the chain that he apparently never takes off, but it looked a lot thinner than the usual chain he wears, because I'm pretty sure that chain was thicker than that.
I haven't noticed so much.
I get the feeling this had a weakness to it, and
So
it was done on purpose. Yeah, that's what I think. This is to further the story, I think.
Yeah.
Because seeing Darby without a chain around his neck was weird. And now he'll be like, well, you broke my chain. That's something that I've worn for X amount of years, whatever it is, since that car crash he was in. And it kind of furthers the emotional aspect of it, as well as the well, you kicked my ass on a rematch. It furthers that emotional story.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. It makes me feel better if it was meant to happen.
It kind of, I reckon it did. I reckon it was meant to.
So to end the match, Kyle O'Reilly gets a diving knee drop on Darby Allin and pins him. Kyle O'Reilly wins.
As expected.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we both got that one, and yes, we did.
Wait, I couldn't remember what I predicted, so I was like, did I say Darby Allin?
I think I ended up sort of mentioning that they wouldn't blow off the feud so quick, and then you kind of went, let's go, Carl.
It's not all about you.
The one thing that we did mention, though, is we thought there'd be shenanigans, but there wasn't.
There was no shenanigans.
No shenanigans.
Unless you count strangling someone with the chain around their neck.
I mean, if he's stupid enough to wear a chain in the ring to a match, then that's on him, right?
And the ref didn't say anything about it, so it's fine. If the ref says it's fine, it's fine.
Ref didn't see it, clearly he's blind.
Exactly. Okay, now we move on to our Women's World Championship match between Serena Deeb and Thunder Rosa. This was good.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this.
My note literally is wrestling clinic.
Yeah.
Because that is exactly what it started off. And then the chant, like, was it 5 or 10 minutes in? This is wrestling.
Yeah, this is wrestling.
Because that was so great. The counters, the moves, the submission. It was just brilliant.
They went through, like, your classic holds, wrestling holds, grappling kind of stuff.
Catch as catch can.
They did some, like, more fast-paced, high-flying stuff. They did submissions. They did a huge amount. I think there was a point towards the end where it felt like it started to lose momentum. Things started to go a little bit wrong. I'm
not surprised, though. They probably did like 20 minutes.
Yeah. And it was... They just kept that pace going. It was bound to sort of wear on them.
Yeah, you're going to get tired. And
yeah. But then they did then sort of slow it down a bit as they came to the end so that they made sure they got that finish right, I think. And I think they pulled it back.
Yeah.
That pendulum move?
I haven't seen a pendulum in ages.
I've never seen one of those. That was crazy.
It's been a long time since I've seen a pendulum.
So Thunder Rosa...
There was another move I hadn't seen in a long time as well, but I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah. So basically had Thunder Rosa with Serena Deeb, her arms and legs.
So the legs are hooked underneath the armpits here, and you've got the legs, and you just sort of dangling them and swinging. So you're kind of straining the arms, the shoulders, the back of the legs all at once.
Crazy looking. Amazing. This is what we need in the women's division. More stuff like this. Obviously, it doesn't have to be such like long matches with everything in them, but this is the energy and the dedication that we need.
And hopefully it'll put those people who are keyboard warriors. Excuse me. It's quite late at the moment, so...
yeah, it'll show them that it's not all in the men's.
Well, no, it's a lot of people are saying, oh, well, since Thunder Rosa got the title, she's not been on TV. She's not had to fight. She's not done this. She's not done that. Well, she just showcased like a 20-25 minute match with Serena Deeb.
She can do
it. Double or nothing, so shut your pie holes.
Yeah, she deserves to have that championship. Which she still has. Because she hit a Fire Thunder Driver. Yeah. I think it was called. And pinned Serena Deeb.
Yeah, that was a steep bump.
Yes.
We both got that one right as well.
Way. Yeah, it was awesome, that one. Oh, guess what's next?
Anarchy in the Arena.
Oh, this match. This fight.
Brawl? Fight?
So we've got the Jericho Appreciation Society versus Blackpool Combat Club, already part of it, Santana, Ortiz, and Eddie Kingston. So usually you've got Moxley comes out through the crowd and Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, I forgot about this.
You've got everyone on that side comes out through the crowd, which is quite cool because they're all sort of getting into it. And you haven't got separate entrances, which can drag on sometimes when you've got this many people. And rather than waiting for them to get to the ring, Jericho Appreciation Society just goes to them.
Do you think we should call it jazz to save time?
Jazz.
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 Jazz. Jazz. Jazz hands.
So yeah, the fight begins in the crowd. Bell goes just like as they
Referees are like,
pretty much.
ah!
You got your
Like 4
half
or
dozen
5, yeah.
referees just running. See Aubrey like, oh, gotta go. There she goes. Okay. So first thing to note is that the entrance music, which is it's Moxley's entrance music, Wild Thing.
Yeah.
The whole song plays and then starts again and keeps playing, and we're like,
I wasn't a fan of that.
Is this gonna be the whole match? But
It felt
we'll
like the
get to sort of
commentators had
why.
to compete to that with that.
Yeah, it changes the feel of a match.
I'm wondering if anyone who's watching this is old enough to remember ECW and remembers New Jack and the Gangsters. They used to come out and they'd play the song throughout the match because that's what the gimmick was. They would break the rules, but it wouldn't overpower the commentators.
I think they did this for a specific
No,
reason.
but
in this case,
I'm wondering if that's where it came from,
might
the
be.
idea of it.
We thought it would be cool if we could do this.
It's
been
like,
done
hey,
before. Let's
It's
go
a
for
brawl. It's like New Jack's kind of thing.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And then,
it. Okay, I've just got a list of the props and things that we used in this fight, because obviously it's no DQ, anything goes. The only thing is that the pinfall or submission has to happen in the ring.
The decision has to happen in the ring.
The final thing. Okay. A fork. A pair of sunglasses, used for poking purposes. A mobility scooter. I think they were trying to make it go,
Which
but
neither
they couldn't.
Moxley or Jericho could work out.
Yeah, so they just like fought
Moxley's
on
got Jericho in a sleeper and Jericho's like...
You know. I'm like, I know how those things work. Let me get it. I'll help.
It's the button on the left!
A full backpack. The soundboard, which then makes the music stop. So I think they had the music playing so that they could use a thing and make it stop.
Yeah. Oh, it's the soundboard.
Oh, we did it. It's a bit small. I thought soundboard was like
It's probably just a hard
Just
drive
a
with the music on it, I
connector
guess. Yeah.
something. Tables, obviously. Many
Naturally.
different tables in different places.
Naturally.
A jib camera arm, so one of these rotating
Yeah. It's one of the... Yeah.
arms that a camera's on. Mustard. It was everywhere. Steel steps, standard. Chair coverings. There's a section of the audience that the chairs were empty, so they covered them in a sheet. That was
I
used.
think that might have been by the hard cam and stuff where the
Probably,
camera was.
yeah.
Maybe that's where those topped off.
where it wasn't needed, kind of thing. Just a camera, a static camera, with just pushing someone's face into it.
Mm-hmm.
A merch rack, so where they've got it displayed on a stand. A step
That's
ladder.
back like on the concourse somewhere.
Yeah, out by the merch stand.
Yeah.
The ring bell. Chairs, both
Standard.
audience chairs, like that have the promotional stuff on it, and your standard steel chairs. A full chill box thing, like a
cooler box.
box.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Full of water. A belt.
It's probably a drink, yeah. Well, but it's full of water.
Yeah, it's full of bottles
Ice
of water.
with bottles of water,
Yes.
yeah.
A belt, and not a championship belt, an actual
Like a leather
trouser belt.
Yeah. Because I think it was Angelo Parker who was taking off, and he's like, oh, he's taking his belt off.
Ooh.
Yeah, to hit someone with it. And then you go back,
He's
and
just
he's
feeling
actually...
a bit fat.
And he's like got it in Eddie Kingston's mouth, and then he wraps it around his throat, and he starts dragging him over the
Yeah,
concourse.
that's
It's like, oh
grim.
my god.
A solid wall. The ramp. I put the ramp.
What's
because it's
more
separate.
solid? Solid steel steps or the solid wall?
The solid wall.
Okay.
Solid
I
steel
gotta-
steps are hollow.
I've got to ask the hard-hitting questions, Leanne.
do.
You've got to know these facts. You know? Wall, steps. What's going to hurt
I
more?
know. Actually, it might be the steps because they got corners.
See? Asking the pertinent questions that our viewers want to know.
I want to know. Do you want to know? Let us know in the comments. Unhooked turnbuckle pole. So this is where you got the turnbuckle.
Oh, yeah,
and
Moxley
there's,
started
the
undoing
steel-
it. They said, what?
It's like a steel rod that holds it onto the ring post. A freight elevator. I don't know if it was used necessarily, but they were in it and it went somewhere. So I'm going to count that.
I like to think they just closed the doors, waited for like 10 seconds, and then reopened them and walked out.
Probably. So before we had a step ladder, we also had your standard ladders that are used.
Yeah, that must have been like a 12-foot one, I think. It's quite a big one, yeah.
Massive. A board covered in barbed wire, a fire extinguisher.
Yep.
A baseball bat, Floyd.
What's on this frigging list? Jeez.
Not much. The ropes, I guess the steel cables, ropes. And some gasoline, although thank goodness they didn't go as far as lighting it because it was poured onto people.
I think Eddie Kingston cared at that point.
Nah. He was mad. There was a lot of blood.
Oh, yeah.
It was chaos. It was really fun to watch. Although the pouring the gasoline made me a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Because it's like they wouldn't, they can't, they won't. No.
Yeah, it was a bit much.
It's a bit like, just because you know what would happen if it accidentally caught, if that lighter had fallen in the wrong place and like triggered or something. But it wouldn't. They probably didn't have a full lighter.
I reckon that gasoline would be watered down anyway.
Probably. It might have just been water.
No, because you would have the smell. You'd have to
for
have the smell from the front row.
It'd have been fine for us.
But then, I mean, pouring it onto Jericho, who's bare shirt, he's got no top on. I knew that he wasn't going to get lit, because it's obvious.
Yeah.
If you pour it onto someone who's got a top on, it's like...
It's probably treated. They might light it.
Ooh, this is getting a bit... And obviously, the thing was that Daniel Bryan took exception, is he had Jericho in a submission move.
Yeah. And he was the teammate of
Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Kingston didn't give
just
a
poured
damn.
it over the
He's
two
just like...
men. It's like, yep, this is happening. So, obviously,
Bryan starts
Danielson
kicking 7 bells out of him.
just whacks the lighter out of his hand, like, no! And then they start fighting. Understandably. I think that's a good reason for a team to break down.
And it's a good way to set up the feud that's obviously going to come out of this.
Definitely. So, I mean, loads happens in this match. We're not going to go into...
Too much, yeah.
So we'll head to the finish, where Jericho hits the walls of Jericho on Bryan Danielson.
He hits the walls of Jericho. The walls of Jericho is a submission.
He gets.
There we go.
I wrote gets and I said hits.
He hits the Judas effect on... I think he hit the Judas effect on Kingston.
Probably, yeah. So he has the walls of Jericho on Bryan Danielson, and then Hager comes out and grabs the now loose ring ropes and gets it around Bryan Danielson's throat and chokes him out. Danielson passes out, meaning the Jericho Appreciation Society win.
Yeah, you got that one right.
Yay! I got one right that you didn't?
Yeah. That was a tough one to call, to be fair.
It was. And it was during the match. It was... it could have gone either way at many points.
I was convinced that Moxley was just going to beat the hell out of all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it pretty much did happen, but...
It did. And so, right from the start, so much blood. Oh, it was everywhere. And all over that merch stand.
Yeah.
Fun time.
Anyway.
Okay, we had a brief sort of interlude where they completely changed out the whole ring, probably, because it was completely messed up. So Andrade is in a room and, after some conversation, introduces someone called Rush El Toro Blanco.
I don't know who that is. I'm going to look into this.
He was saying that he's the best wrestler in the world, so I'm expecting big things.
Yeah.
High
But he did
standards.
also say that he hated the Andrade family office name and they're all losers. So it looks like the AFO is no more.
Yeah, I could understand that. It was never meant to be the AFO.
I kind of hope that that is the case because Private Party are better than that. And so are
Yes.
Butcher and Blade and Bunny, you know?
Mm-hmm. It was one thing when they were with Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
But with Andrade, it's not the same thing. Yeah, change of direction. Oh, autocorrect. Okay. The AEW World Tag Team Championship match.
You missed the segment with
Did
American Top Team in the interview. I think it was just about the same time as the Andrade thing.
I didn't write it down.
And Scorpio was like, all right, well, whoever wants to step up to the plate next, come and step to it. And then Dante Martin turns up. And it's like, oh.
Yes.
Oh, this is going to be good. So it looks like Dante Martin's going to be the next challenger for Scorpio Sky's TNT Championship.
I don't know why I didn't write that down. Thanks for getting that in there.
I can't remember if it happened before or after the Andrade thing, but it was in the same sort of
That
segment.
scene. Fixing
they
the
were
ring.
fixing the ring.
Yeah, I think there was some adverts for
Forbidden Door.
Forbidden
I
Door.
think, yeah, they were on that twice, I think.
Yeah. So
Looking forward to that.
now can we go to the AEW World
Yes.
Tag Team Championship?
Yes, you may.
All right, we've got Team Taz, or as autocorrect says, Team Tax, which is Powerhouse Hobbs and Absolute Ricky Starks versus Swerve, and Keith Lee versus Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. Swerve. God. It's so funny. He's so good, but his entrance music is so funny.
You know the funniest thing is, he's probably done the one that made it.
Yeah.
He's probably the one in the mic going, Swerve, 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 Swerve.
Do you think he just said swerve once and then adjusted?
Maybe.
It's like
Auto-tune, right?
he did it all on purpose. It's like, I want that to be a lot higher.
Yeah.
Swerve.
It's auto-tune.
D.M.D. There were some rough moments in
D.M.D.
this match. That was earlier.
Oh.
Rough moments in this match, but
Yeah.
it did end up being a bit of an edge of the seat match.
Yeah. It was a pretty good match. It's just
Hmm.
that one person who just shouldn't be in the match.
We're having some problems with Keith Lee.
Yeah. Keith, I'll say it. I will blatantly say it.
Say it.
Keith Lee is overrated. Simple as.
Yeah.
He's not as good as people think he is. Like that dive he did on the outside, that looked awful.
It's better than when he did it before.
Yeah, granted. But it still looked awful.
And there was the moment...
I've seen dog mess on the sidewalk that looked better than that.
They were doing this tandem move, him and Swerve, where it's like he was standing on the inside of the ring and Swerve like had his hand or something.
No, Keith Lee was on the apron.
Oh, he's on the
Swerve
apron.
was on the inside.
So Swerve sort of jumps up on the ropes and then kicks off Keith Lee's chest.
Uses him as springboard, yeah.
And then Keith Lee is standing there looking really proud of himself.
Look what I just did.
You just stood still, friend. And they got bask in his glory chants going in the crowd, and he's like, I am everything. And it's like, no. Give Swerve some spotlight. He carried the substantial weight of that team. Sorry, that was rude. I take it back.
To be fair, he has put on weight since he left WWE and NXT, so.
Yeah.
And it shows. It really does. He's sluggish. No, he's overrated. I wasn't a big fan of him in WWE. I think he's overrated.
Yeah.
In best of times. He had better potential in NXT.
Yeah, he did some good stuff, didn't he?
But again, that just no.
I think where they've sort of fitted him in AEW is like a higher status than maybe he is at a place for, if that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, Powerhouse Hobbs had a really good outing on this match. Got some real good stuff in there. Luchasaurus, as always, did a good job.
Ricky took a sick looking bump.
Yes.
Oh, that looked like he spiked head first into the mat, into the outside.
He got up, so he seemed okay.
Yeah.
But it definitely looked rough. Jungle Boy, maybe not on top form this time round.
No, I don't think he was.
I blame Christian.
I blame his sister and mother being in the front row.
Probably distraction. So as expected, we've got Jungle Express winning. They did some sort of tandem move, which I can't remember exactly what it
I
was.
think they call it the Jurassic Express. I think that's the name of the move.
Is this why they're not called the Jurassic Express now as a team? Because it's a move. Well, they did that on Swerve. Swerve. For the win.
I'd have rather seen it being done on Keith Lee. Imagine how impressive that would have been for Luchasaurus. Damn, dude.
Bounced off him. Sorry, I gotta stop.
So
I apologise.
We had that one right.
Whee! Okay, so after that match, they advertised a 10-man tag.
Oh, yeah, for Dynamite.
For Dynamite.
The
which
debut
is
in California, I think it was, wasn't it?
Pretty good.
Oh, yeah, because SCU. Come to California, he said, yeah, SCU. Yeah.
So I may have got this wrong, so correct me if I've got it wrong. So it was sort of on the screen, and I was like, what's happening?
Yeah.
The Undisputed Elite versus Jungle Express, Christian.
Jungle Express.
Jungle Express? See, I knew I'd get something wrong.
Jurassic Express.
It's not even their team name anymore. Who cares? Jurassic Express, Christian Cage, and the Hardys.
Correct. That's going to be one hell of a tag team match.
looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look, we've reached the main event.
Hey, Leanne.
It's time
for Leanne's signs of the pay-per-view.
Oh, I forgot. Oh, my goodness.
I thought that's where you were going.
I forgot. I was getting so, I was on a roll.
Just like Keith Lee.
Whoa! We gotta stop. Pay-per-view. The hand signs of the pay-per-view. I got to take the post-it notes off because it's a pay-per-view. Okay. Not a lot of signs.
Nope.
But still better than a WWE event at the moment.
So
you're doing better.
I'm going to swerve this a little bit.
What?
I'm going to wait for you to say your signs, and then I'm going to see if you saw a sign that I saw that you might not have saw.
Oh no. Okay. I probably didn't because I haven't got much. My first one is actually a sneaky t-shirt.
What?
I snuck a t-shirt into the signs.
Slim pickings.
It was I guess an MJF shirt, but I had a look on the website and it's not there, which I wasn't expecting it to be there because it just says cut my music, but
in Comic Sans.
Comic Sans. Why?
The most hated of all fonts.
I kind of love it, but it should only ever be used ironically or in primary schools.
You know, I might start using that in work as my signature for my emails.
So it just made me smile because I don't know whether maybe someone is selling this t-shirt or if this guy just like, I'm going to make a t-shirt. It's going to say cut my music. What font should I use?
I reckon it's that.
Comic Sans.
It only would have been better if he'd done it in a Burberry style.
Yes. It's probably...
Up his shirt game, mate.
It's probably above his budget.
Oh.
Spent all his tickets on getting seats that close to the front.
Yeah, it wasn't quite front row, but it was really
like
close. Yeah.
2 or 3 back.
Yeah.
Okay, sign number 2 is make Buddy M get tattoos. Because House of Black, there's the 3 guys, 2 of them have a lot of tattoos, and Buddy Murphy has no visible ones that I know of.
So, technically now, 50% of the House of Black have no tattoos.
True, now the balance is okay.
At least not that we know of.
That we know of. Not visible. Who knows? But yeah, I wouldn't have noticed if I hadn't seen that sign. It wouldn't have stood out to me at all that he just doesn't have tattoos and the others do.
Really?
It wouldn't have been... I'd have, like, not...
The commentators have mentioned it.
Sometimes I don't always listen. But it's not like it would stand out as unusual, I suppose. But I couldn't stop looking. It's like, it's just skin. So that's why it made the list.
And one quick side note of that, and when you saw that sign and you laughed at it, I made the comment that, is it me or does Buddy Matthews look more chiseled every time we see him?
He does.
Like, damn, dude.
He is working out, and it's doing good. He's not my type, it's okay. Okay, top sign. Oh, honey, you good. Smash Bros. Is not a fighting game. Thank you, person who made that sign.
I think this was during the Anarchy match as well.
Was.
So, like, the fact that we saw that one was like...
Yeah, it's not one that we would have seen because it was like probably on the other side of the arena. I don't play Smash Bros. And I don't really enjoy fighting games much because I'm really bad at them. But yeah, Smash Bros. Is... You can't compare it to like a Mortal Kombat or something.
Or Street Fighter, yeah, or Tekken.
And that's the end signs of the pay-per-view.
So here's the swerve. I saw a sign that you didn't, which I thought was pretty good.
What?
It said Fozzie, F-O-Z-Z-I-E, is better, as in like the symbol.
Yes, the symbol.
Rizzo.
I don't know what Rizzo is.
It's a Muppets reference. Oh. Rizzo the Rat. Fozzie Bear is better than Rizzo the Rat.
I didn't write it down because I didn't understand it.
Oh!
Okay, I like that.
I like that one. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I thought Rizzo might be another band or something. So
no. Fozzie spelled with a Y, the band, not an I-E.
I didn't even notice that it wasn't spelt right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rizzo the Rat.
Okay.
It's not as good as Fozzie Bear.
Well, that's Alan's signs of the pay-per-view. Alan's signs are the pay-per-view. You get it sung in a lower...
Alan's one sign of the pay-per-view.
sign singular of the pay-per-view. Nice one.
Okay, Leanne.
Whew. Main event for the AEW World Championship. We have CM Punk versus Hangman Adam Page. Do you like how I always look at you as soon as I say a championship name?
Yeah, it's like, did I get it right? Notice me, senpai.
The nod of approval. I may have Googled some of them to make sure they were right.
They flash the cards up on the screen.
Sometimes I don't write it down fast enough.
It says it on the screen. Do you have the memory of a goldfish? It literally says AEW World Championship.
I have the memory of a goldfish.
Continue, Leanne. There's no hope. There's no hope at all. Send Obi-Wan.
This was a good match.
Yeah.
It was main event worthy for sure.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Best of both these guys.
Yeah, they both put on a hell of an effort.
I didn't write much. Again, it's one of these where you're sort of paying too much attention. But I mean, that's not a bad thing. If I don't write much, it probably means I was really enjoying it.
I like the psychology in this match. There's a lot of good psychology going on.
Yes.
You know, trying to hit each other's moves and countering, and Punk trying to go for the buckshot and slipping, and it's like, is he not good enough to do it? Is he not good? And then Hangman Page is trying to go for the GTS, and there's a lot of like, obviously Paige and is CM Punk's living rent free in Paige's head at this point.
Oh yeah, for
and
sure.
It showed, literally showed. Like the way Paige was just like going, boom, 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 like almost like he's losing control of himself just to beat the hell out of CM Punk.
Yeah, definitely.
You know? And then CM Punk's just so calm and reserved, and he's like, I'm in your head.
I mean, to the extent that there was a ref bump at one point, and the belt, for other reasons, was in the ring. It was like at the corner.
Yeah, it was on the corner.
So Hangman Adam Page sort of is looking at it and like, the ref's down. I could. And then he goes and gets the belt and he's standing there with it sort of ready to go. And he's like, and you can see he wants to.
And Punk's
he
just
wants
like,
to go for it. But he's obviously conflicted because he's always been a straight guy. He doesn't cheat and stuff. And this would have been sinking down to the level of some of the people that he was out to defeat. So he didn't do it, which I'm happy about. But he didn't win neither.
Neither. Hangman Adam Page is a farmer now. He's gone from cowboy shiznit to horse shiznit, is he? Whoops.
Yeah, so instead of going to hit with the belt, Hangman goes to the outside to set up for buckshot lariat, as he can see the ref is starting to get up again. Goes to do it. It's a bit weird, this one though, because he did the bit where he flips into the ring, but rather than immediately going forwards for the lariat, he sort of paused, which was a bit don't know quite what happened.
Maybe he mistimed it.
I think that must be it, because then CM Punk sort of catches him out of that move and delivers the go to sleep and pins for the win.
Yeah.
CM Punk's the new champ.
New champ. 5th AEW World Champion in history.
Wow.
They did say that Hangman's held the title for 197 days, which surpasses Chris Jericho's reign. I'm not sure how many days Chris Jericho had, but he's the inaugural champ. But it still doesn't beat the longest reigning champion of all time in AEW, Kenny Omega. Yeah.
We hard pushed to beat that one.
Nearly a year.
Yeah.
Nearly a year. It's like about 2 weeks shy of a year, I think it was.
So I guess we shall wait and see whether your follow-up prediction comes true of CM Punk immediately turning heel.
I kind of hope it does.
Yeah.
I really want to see this happen.
He was so emotional after getting the win. It was, you could see, like, genuinely
He's been away for 7 years, and he's gone into a company which he thoroughly believes in, and they've given him the title to run with. So I can imagine it would be overwhelming.
Yeah, because
in that sense,
it's easy to sort of think that getting the championship is just storyline stuff, but
there's a lot more to it.
Yeah, it shows the company has faith in you, and
who's always the first person that you will see on anything for any company like that is the champion.
Yeah, so you not only are you sort of bringing in money you're the trusted one, the face of the company, the person that goes to represent the company and all their stuff. So it's this huge.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like if you put the belt on Ethan Page, for example, how much merch has Ethan Page got that he can sell for the company? How much are people going to be invested in Ethan Page as champion? No offense to Ethan Page, he's a great talent. He's just not at that particular level right now. You know,
he might get there.
He might do, yeah, he might do. But I'm quite looking forward down the line to possibly seeing American Top Team imploding and having Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky go at it. Because that could be good.
That'd be good.
But CM Punk is, everyone knows CM Punk. He had 7 years off. He's 43 years old.
Yeah.
He's starting to go a bit salt and peppery, as I think you describe it as. And who's to say he hasn't got that many years left in this? Because it is a physical toll. It's wrestling is not a combat sport per se, but it still takes it out of your body.
Oh, yeah.
How long has he got left? So you've got to get this run in now and get as much as you can from him while he's still in that prime to be able to do so.
He's proved that he has that true, genuine passion for the business and not just to make money, to make it better, to make it a place that the young guys can come into and be secure
and
in.
that's why he's been fighting the Dante Martins, the Dax Howards, all these other guys. You know, he hasn't gone, oh, I want to fight Kenny Omega, I want to fight Daniel Bryan, I want to fight Hangman Adam Page, I want the titles. He's done none of that. He's come in and fought all the other guys. Like the first match he had was Darby Allin. Because he respected Darby Allin and he wanted to take on one of the new generation or the next generation of stars who were going to be probably the new headliners in sort of 5 to 10 years, you know?
So whether he stays face or turns heel, CM Punk is our champion.
I want him to go heel, and I want him to get a kill switch engage music.
Ooh, yeah.
I want him to change his music.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
That's double or nothing.
Match of the event for you, what was it?
Oh, I think that it's still Death Triangle and House of Black. That match was so good.
Absolutely.
It was amazing. There are some close contenders.
And it's like, oh, well, I'm a massive House of Black fan. I'm a massive Malachi Black fan. And, oh, well, you're biased. No, that match was just solid gold.
It was.
There was not one single thing wrong with that match, and it just kept hitting all the right notes, all the right times, all the right pace. And it was just, it was constant. It was brilliant.
Yeah, I think
you got
also
6 complete professionals in that ring.
Yeah, it was so good. I think way up there as well was the Anarchy in the Arena. Not so much for like the wrestling, but for the entertainment factor.
For the props.
For the props. And also the Serena Deeb Thunder Rosa match is up there. Which I love that. One of my favourite matches from the night is a women's match because I was getting a bit disillusioned with the women's wrestling and it sort of brought me back into it.
Yeah.
Yay.
Most disappointing match of the night. Let's spin this on its head then. What did you think could have been better?
Oh, Jade Cargill and Thingy.
Yeah. I wasn't really expecting much from that match, so I don't think that was really up there for me. For me, in that sense, something I thought was going to be really great and was a bit left feeling a bit shorted was the Young Bucks versus the Hardys. Yeah. Now, obviously, Jeff had some ring gear problems and he missed some of the marks. He might have hit his head, and that's a shame because they could have had a ridiculously great match, but it kind of fell a bit short for me. Yeah, that's fair. I still think that one of the best tag team matches I've ever seen in AEW is going to be the Young Bucks and the Lucha Brothers in that steel cage.
Oh, yeah.
So that is a high bar to reach to. Very. But given time, I think that the Hardys and the Young Bucks will, at some point, over it.
Definitely. The more they work together, do dark matches or just train together, they're going to get that synergy. And
But again, you don't. I mean, FTR and Young Bucks have only had 2 matches thus far in the last year. Yeah. So you don't want to do it all the time. No. So maybe...
That's why I thought maybe like dark matches. And...
So maybe, right, let's say, obviously we know now Jurassic Express, I'm still calling them Jurassic Express, have got the titles. Hardy's challenge for them down the line, win the titles. The Young Bucks are like, fancy a ladder match for those titles? Oh, you know? Yes. Because that was the last time I saw them 2 teams fight, was in Ring of Honor. Yeah. And it was the Hardys versus the Young Bucks, and the Young Bucks won it. So, but yeah, anyway, take us home, Liam.
Okay, so that's Double or Nothing. Thank you so much for watching our reactions video, and presumably also the predictions, but I don't know. We will be back with more videos. We've got another...
Hell in a Cell this coming weekend.
WrestleMania Hell in a Cell. So we'll be dropping predictions for that and then reactions when we are able to watch it. Please leave some comments below. Let us know if you saw any signs that that you liked that we might have missed. What was your favourite match, most disappointing match, and where do you think that the championship's going to go from here? Follow us on socials. Our details are in the description below. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe, and hit that bell to be notified when we drop new videos.
Ding ding.
And until next time,
don't get cursed by Danhausen.